Welcome back to episode 2, everybody. As always, we have got Matt.
Yo.
And we've got Nathan.
Hello.
And I cannot stress this enough. Spoilers. Spoilers at the very beginning of this. We're going to be talking about some stuff today. The Marvel and the way that it's going, or what we think the way it's going. And of course, there's going to be some spoilers if you haven't seen some of the movies. And of course, there's also going to be some spoilers for things to come. Because we've done a lot of research, and there's things that you probably, some of us have done a little bit of research.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some things that you...
Dust off some cobwebs in that brain. Go back a little
I
bit.
watched the Marvel movies.
I have watched the Marvel movies, I've watched all the shows, I've caught up on everything, and I've even read up some comics just to get myself back on track. So,
Too special.
yes, I read a lot. I believe we said in the episode 0... if I have that comic book, subscription, I read a lot. And I have.
Nothing like sitting in the theater, though, for 24 hours, watching all the MCU movies.
You went and left whenever The Incredible Hulk came in.
I took a nap. It was awesome.
You went to go see the...
Edgar Allan Poe movie.
Yeah.
Raven.
Yep.
With John Cusack.
Yep. And the rest of us were in the theater that smelled of taco sauce.
And then I came back in right before the fight. The one guy was like, "Can you shut up?" I was like, "Dude, this movie's been out for 15 years. Are you really going to give me a hard time about this?"
Well, I don't think that it helped because we also brought the giant coloring books and we had to lay them basically on their heads to do them. So that probably also had a little bit to do with it. Anywho, so talking about the future of Marvel, I know Batman just recently came out. Batman's a huge movie.
It was solid.
Yeah, we don't want to do any spoilers for that one yet, so we're going to give it another couple weeks or so before we can do Batman
Alfred's
series.
in it. Spoiler.
We already said spoilers at the beginning. We're covered. Alfred's in it?
Yeah.
All right.
Andy Serkis is Alfred.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you said Andy Serkis is going to be in it.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is Alfred.
Oh, now I really, really have to go and see it this weekend. Okay, cool. So on the Marvel side of things, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out here soon. And no offense to DC, but Marvel just has a lot more conglomerate of videos and movies.
We got the good weed in movie.
So we've got a lot more that actually goes with each other and a lot of things that just tie into it. So there's a lot of different things that they could be doing for the future of Marvel, and we are going to discuss what we think the future is. So first off, the things that are going to be coming out here soon. You've got Moon Knight, March 30th.
Woo!
And then the most recent movie is going to be Morbius, if you count that for Marvel.
You got it, because it's got Michael Keaton's Falcon. Vulture. Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say Falcon.
Yeah.
Can you please be the Falcon?
Falcon.
Show me your moves. No. So Morbius comes out April 1st. And that's more than likely going to have Blade in it. Or some sort of... Oh, we can get into it. Remember, we've already said spoilers.
I wanted it to be Wesley Snipes' Blade so bad.
Why
can't it be?
I'm pretty sure he's out of all
No.
acting stuff, isn't he?
No, he's not. But let me go put the dog up.
So it's already been announced that there is going to be a Blade. There's no date on it, but they've already said who's going to play Blade, and it's not going to be
I know the person who played the MCU Blade is not Wesley Snipes.
right.
But with Spider-Man doing all the multiverse stuff, Doctor Strange multiverse, WandaVision multiverse, Loki,
That's
all the
true.
different time things, it'd be the perfect time to bring Wesley Snipes in right before you bring the new one in and have it
A cameo at least.
yeah.
I mean, that's definitely doable. Seeing it's like what they did with the new Spider-Man and all that. So
Because that was supposed to be Blade in the end credit scene
the Eternals.
of the Eternals talking about. But what I don't understand is why is it Blade? I get that,
It looks like, so the blade is a black blade, and then we're gonna get into this, so we might as well hop
It's the
right on
ebony
into
blade.
it. Right. So for the Thor movie, Love and Thunder, that's gonna be coming out this year, July 8th. The villain has already been announced that it's Gore the God Butcher,
Right.
which has the Necro Blade, which is Null's blade, that is the Celestial Killer. So when I saw the end of the Eternals as that blade, I was like, does it have to be Blade that was talking at the end? Like, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, I don't get how, like, I mean, it probably is him. Everyone's like, oh, it's his voice, so it's totally Blade. It's like, that's cool. But if they're already, like, announcing the sword and everything, then that's going to definitely tie into the Thor with their Love and Thunder.
Well, see, there's the other theory, too, that the stuff that's on the blade, so when he goes like Great Touch and you see it moving, is the original symbiote. So it's the original one of
his
those.
symbiote.
No, but it's not supposed to be that one. It's supposed to be the main symbiote of all symbiotes, or whatever that. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be him, and that's what it's supposed to be. And then I don't get the tie-in. Then I get that's why Venom knows about the other multiverses, because there's other ones in other different universes. But I don't understand how that means Blade's going after. Like, what ties that? Is it because that guy doesn't die, so he keeps a person alive, so therefore it's a vampire?
Could be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up what that guy's name is.
Yeah, so definitely that was one of the points that I had for the Eternals, is like at the very end there. Everyone says that it is Mahershala Ali. I'm so sorry
I can't say it either.
yeah, so sorry if I botched that name, but it's supposedly it's his voice at the end of the Eternals, which then also says that Blade is definitely going to be in it, which also more than likely when Morbius comes out, you're going to also see Blade in there. So that's definitely going to bring in Blade just for storyline purposes.
See, I don't know much about Morbius at all. Really, I don't know that part of MCU.
So he's not a vampire in the sense of like, Dracula drank your blood type vampire.
I think he's going to be in this movie, though. I don't think he's going to be an energy vampire like he is in...
That's another problem that we're going to have going through all these movies
Changes.
is, like the comics are going to be one way, because like one of the things that we're going to bring up here in the future is the Secret Invasion, which is not dated, but it's been hinted at that they are going to be doing a series of that, like a Disney Plus series of that, which if you read the Secret Invasion, there's a lot of things that have not happened in the movies that the comic shows. So, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're going to go over. But Morbius comes out April 1st. That's going to be tied into Blade. There's really not too much more as far as like the full storyline of where like they did the Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff. So I don't think that's going to, Morbius isn't going to tie into anything major like that here in the future. It's just going to kind of make way for a Blade movie. Moon Knight, same thing. I just recently read the Moon Knight comics so that I could kind of get a better idea of who Moon Knight is. I'm so fucking confused. Like, I don't understand his story. I don't understand.
Think how he feels.
Well, I'm sure, but like, from what I could tell, he just has a split personality, dissociative identity disorder. And
He's a did.
he can hear the moon god, the Egyptian moon god, Khonshu, however you want to pronounce that. And that's where he gets his, like, powers from.
Yeah, Crescent Moon Knight.
Yes.
Crescent Roll Moon Knight.
What is it?
Pigs in a blanket.
Moonlight Knight from Sailor Moon when Tuxedo Mask loses his...
That's what you need. Every time we mention Tuxedo Mask, we need a little blarg noise play every single time.
Yeah, she loves when he dies.
Yeah, everyone does. It's the best part of his whole character.
If we do a Sailor Moon podcast, you're going to find out exactly why I don't like it, but we're not popping into this one because this is a Marvel one. I don't like him in the show. Moon Knight, March 30th, 2022. We got Oscar Isaac, who's going to be playing Moon Knight. It already shows that he's...
Solid Snake, possibly.
Possibly, maybe, if they continue on that little pathway. So he's going to be playing the Moon Knight. They already show that he kind of, like, doesn't know kind of what he is. Like, he hears voices and all that.
I think he's playing 3 different characters in it. I can't remember the names, but he's definitely 3 different personalities in this one. I think one of the personalities is Moon Knight, and then there's 2 other ones that he goes back and forth between. So
the main one in the comics is Mark Spector. And then you've got the Moon Knight that he plays, and then there's, like, the taxi cab driver guy. It's wonky. minus
Whack you.
like Blade is supposedly going to be brought in with Moon Knight, or they're going to hint at him. Again, I don't know.
I'm hoping they're really going to do like the Dark Avengers. They keep like, that's the whole thing about them bringing on like Black Knight, Blade, Morbius is like they're going towards where they can have like their own like supernatural, let's deal with like monsters team, and that's going to be Blade and all them, and then have your superhero, let's deal with like superhero stuff
Right.
team.
That might be the case. There wasn't anything on here that kind of hinted at that.
Which
But
means
I mean, that would definitely make more sense.
we should get giant size man thing then.
No, I'm good. I'll pass on that.
Why not? Everybody wants a giant size man thing.
I mean, you're not wrong. So the big one that's coming out here soon is the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Yes.
Yes.
And we're all
There's a lot
sitting
of
here.
stuff coming on that, yeah.
At the end of episode 1, we were biting at the bit to try and not go into this type of subject. So this is where we get to just let loose. I've watched that trailer at least 10 times trying to break it down and things and see what I could see just for like this podcast here today. There are so many small things. First off, Sam Raimi is the director. I friggin' love Sam Raimi as a director.
Yes.
For those of you who are incredibly young and don't know, all 3 of the first Spider-Man movies,
Yeah, even the terrible third one.
it's okay. It's,
He purposely bombed that one though because he was kind of tired of getting bossed around about how they wanted the movies done. Though.
Yeah. But they were amazing. So Sam Raimi did the first 3 Spider-Man movies. So you can bet, and I think they've already confirmed, that there is going to be a Bruce Campbell.
Thank
like,
God.
I want to see him. I need to see
Like
him.
the whole like, you know, Iron Man. That's not Captain Marvel. That's Iron Man in there. Like I'm leaning on that boat. It's not coming to Marvel. It's superior Iron Man. Like hands down, that's what it's going to be. But how great if it's not Tom Cruise, and that's Bruce Campbell as superior Iron Man. Like, for real, though. How amazing would that be? That chin in an Iron Man suit?
Oh my God, it would be amazing. And just like, he's always the same attitude person in every movie that he's ever in. So it's like, as soon as you see it, it's like, hail to the king, baby.
Yeah. Give me some sugar.
So Doctor Strange is going to be coming out, and we have, of course, Scarlet Witch on there. So what we can assume is that with everything that has been hinted at with the WandaVision and that whole thing with the kids, more than likely the House of M is coming at some point in time.
Especially with Patrick Stewart being in Doctor
Yes.
Strange. Like, you're bringing Magneto in, so why not go ahead and make it her daddy?
Yeah. So I have a hint that, like, WandaVision, once again, spoilers, whenever they bring in Quicksilver, it's not the one from the movie that she knows. It is the one that's from the movies that Sony or Fox?
Sony.
It's Sony, yeah.
No,
Sony.
Fox.
Is it?
Okay.
I can't remember. I just remember the movies.
Sony, Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Fox is X-Men and
That's
Wolverine
right.
stuff.
Right. So
Fantastic Four.
Quicksilver in the Fox movies is the one that shows up in the WandaVision, and
But his name's Boner in that movie, in that show.
They
Robert
said-
Boner.
Well, because here 2 things, I think. We actually discussed specifically him. I think that it is absolutely Quicksilver from the different universe that the, whatever her name is, the main bad witch.
Agatha
Agatha.
Harkness.
Agatha. I don't think she made him have superpowers. There's no way she probably made him have superpowers.
she can't.
So, right. He was still Quicksilver. He could run around and do stuff. So he is Quicksilver. He just had assumed a new identity because she took him over or something.
I mean, I don't mind that, but like,
That's what I think.
my problem. So I'm gonna have a big problem with depending on how they do a lot of stuff, because I want people from the X-Men movies to be their characters again, but I also want the MCU to do casting for their characters because they've been like top notch constantly. So like,
I love Quicksilver, like that actor.
yeah, but I think I would like the other Quicksilver who got shot up a whole bunch to be Quicksilver. I kind of like him a lot.
Yeah.
He was awesome in Kick-Ass. Like that
Yeah.
movie's amazing.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. And like, do I really want James McAvoy and Fassbender to come back as Magneto and Xavier? I do, but also at the same time, I'm like, I don't.
It's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
I don't want Patrick Stewart back because he's done basically acting. Like he's got Picard
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Paramount Plus, and
I'm sure he
Logan
doesn't
was
need
his
anything.
last one, wasn't it? As Xavier?
probably,
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, they've hinted at him at least Xavier going to be in the show. It's very much hinted. They keep saying that like Doctor Doom is going to be in there. I have a feeling that they're going to have the Illuminati up there. So, like, you've got Doctor Strange. Yeah. There's hints like that the Black Panther movie that's going to be coming out, they've said that they're not replacing the guy that played him. So, like, I highly doubt they would have him in it, even though he was in the Illuminati in the comics. But they're hinting at the fact that it would be Professor Xavier, of course, Doctor Strange,
Reed Richards,
whatever
the Black Wizard is, Mobo,
yeah, Mobo or Morbo.
Yeah, I can't ever say his name right.
Yeah, from the Doctor Strange movie and comics. So that was what, 4?
Mm-hmm.
And there's at least there's of course Xavier. They said there's 6 chairs and a big opening in the middle for probably Xavier in his wheelchair. So there's 6 other people that are in it. But they're thinking that the girl from WandaVision at the very end, that got the superpowers.
Photon.
Daughter.
Yeah. I was thinking about her being in it some way somehow, and then a female Iron Man. I can't remember what they called her, but in the video, there was a point where you can see someone that has the Iron Man suit on, and they do have a female figure to them whenever it's fighting the Scarlet Witch. But that's supposedly going to be the girl from WandaVision, Photon. That's going to be in that though, because they're going to be doing a Miss Marvel movie. Or a Marvel... The Marvels, yes.
With all 3 of them.
Yeah, so it's going to have the little girl that is Miss Marvel now. It's going to have the girl Photon, and then it's going to have Captain Marvel in that. And I think that one is going to be a big tie-in for the Young Avengers.
Because of young Miss Marvel.
Not only that they have a kid version of Marvel, she's in the comics and stuff now, but... There's only one character that they have not really brought into the universe for the Young Avengers, and that is the Hulkling. So for her being a Kree Hulkling thing, or Hulk Skrull thing, I think they're going to bring him into it some way, somehow with Miss Marvel. Whether it's in the TV show or if it's in...
I think it'll be in her TV show. I don't think it's be about the Marvels. I think the Marvels are going to really set up Secret Invasion. I think that's what the Marvels movie is going to set up. Now, Miss Marvel, the Disney Plus show, may set up Young Avengers, because I think they're definitely doing Young Avengers. You can't have all these people coming into it.
Yeah.
You can't have young Hawkeye. You can't have Scarlet Witch's kids. You can't have, Miss Marvel come into it and not start doing Young Avengers at some point.
See, I think that's why they also showed on the Loki show that there was a young version of Loki.
With the crocodile.
Yes, because Journey into Mysteries is a big part of the Young Avengers section, and one of my favorite sections. But you've got the twins, so I can't remember what the
Wiccan
kid is.
And
I want to say Speedster, but it's not Speedster.
I can't remember his name either. I want to say Dash, but that's just the Incredibles.
No. It is...
Speaking of...
People on here is God damn it, y'all supposed to be nerds. Look, guys, we're old. We forget stuff.
I was like, have you seen the Marvel Universe? There's so much stuff to
I
know.
think we all had COVID, so,
At least once.
Oh my God.
Speed.
Okay, so just Speed.
Yeah.
So you've got the 2 twins that have already been in the shows. The Ant-Man movies does have Cassie in the movies. They don't really there's only one part where she's like, you need a sidekick or something for you, and he's like, eh. It's she's in the movie, but not any hints of her being anything like what she was in the comics. But you had in the Bucky and Falcon show, there was a guy in there.
That's the new name of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is the Bucky and Falcon show. The Bucky and Falcon show.
It sounds like a sitcom.
I'm sorry, that's the one that I did not watch.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's not good.
That
sets up the secret. What's the Avengers with U.S. With all the bad guys and Black Widow, U.S. Marshal.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called either. This is what happens when you don't take notes, guys, and work all the time.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're called, but that whole group there, I heard that one sucked. There was no way around it, so I wasn't going to watch it. But
they made Bucky a big, he was going through therapy. And he was apologizing for being the Winter Soldier and hurting the people he hurt as a Winter Soldier and making amends. And I want him to just be Winter Soldier. I want him to be like the Cap killing Winter Soldier that we all want him to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he was in the comics.
Like, I'm still kind of bummed. Like, they didn't even do a good job, like, with Anthony Mackie being American, like Captain America either. Like, it was kind of like a joke. Like, so, spoilers, because we already talked about it. Since y'all haven't seen it, you're not going to watch it. He gives the shield up first episode.
Great.
To a museum. And then it takes, like, then they bring out the new Captain America, the other guy, who then flips and gets crazy because he takes the super soldier serum and, like, literally kills, like, a person in the middle of everybody with a shield, like, literally kills them. And then, like, the last 2 episodes, he's finally, like, being Captain America and gets the shield back and he starts throwing it and practicing with it, and then he puts the suit on. It was just like, and then, like, Bucky the whole time was just like, I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to use guns.
You're the Winter Soldier.
You're Luke Skywalker.
It was just bad. So, like, I don't know. And, like, I feel like Civil War really set up more Bucky being the next Captain America.
Yeah. And
then Endgame, they're just like, nope, we're going to go Anthony Mackie instead. Because, like, the whole, like, Civil War fight scene where they're beating up Tony Stark and they're, like, throwing the shield back and forth. And then, you know, even the Winter Soldier movie with Captain America, he catches the shield and stuff. Like, they build it up for him to be Captain America. Like, oh, he can use the shield. He can grab it. He can stop it. And they're like, nah, we give up.
We don't want to do that anymore. Yeah, that was a very sad TV show, so I didn't bother watching that one to do any research. But apparently, one of the guys that you see in there is the uncle of the kid that plays the Patriot in the Young Avengers. So, Eli is his name, but the kid is supposed to be like the Patriot. So his uncle was apparently in that show, setting up for him to eventually possibly come into the show. So you've got the majority of the first group. You got Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye, you got Cassie Lang from the Ant-Man movies, the twins, and the Patriot kid's uncle. So most definitely, you're going to have the Hulkling somewhere in there, which I can guarantee you, somewhere in the Marvels, probably the Miss Marvel series, you're going to see him, which sets it up for the movie. And then if they want to use the kid that was Loki, then of course they've already set that up in the Loki series for that. But as far as the big, like, overarching thing, we know Secret Invasion is going to be coming out. I don't know if they're wanting to make that the big thing, or if they are trying to hint at something a little bit bigger, as in either the House of M or Null, which some people have said they see Null in the Doctor Strange trailer.
Yeah, and I read up on that, and everybody that's trying to say no, it's not the case. Like, if you look really carefully, it's 2 human arms and a bunch of black arms around it, like symbiote-looking arms almost. If you look at what the artwork in the comics are, symbiotes are these really lengthy, lithe, stringy creatures. It's exactly like that.
Are you talking about, like, when he's coming up, Defender?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying.
A lot of people are saying that it's just like whenever Doctor Strange uses one of his abilities in either his movie or in one of the Avengers.
He does it in the first Infinity War where he's fighting Thanos. He splits into a whole bunch of Stranges and does it. But did y'all watch the What If series?
No.
Okay.
So I know there's a bunch of zombies and stuff like that in there, and they're hinting it to where it would be.
I think they're in the world. So, all right. So there's a person I watch all his YouTube videos, and he breaks down every single thing Marvel, and he watches at 0.25 speed, and he literally frame for frame.
I bet you it's the same guy that I watch.
Canadian lad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's awesome. So one of the things they show is when he's going through some of the portals through the multiverse, he goes to a cartoon one.
Yes.
And in What If, you had the Doctor Strange episode where his girlfriend, I can't ever think of her name, she dies.
Yeah.
And instead of him hurting his hands, she dies and he doesn't. So he becomes Doctor Strange and learns how to bring her back and, like, stops that fixed point in time. But that involves him summoning all these evil creatures, absorbing those evil creatures to become more powerful to absorb the next one above him. But what that does is change him into this huge, horrible monster, and he turns into them every now and then. So he grows arms, he'll grow wings, he'll turn into a dragon, he'll turn into this monster. And all, like, the things where everything's, like, dripping away and stuff. Mm-hmm. So in that universe he makes where he saves her, that universe is dying on itself because he broke a fixed point in time that you can't change, and he did change it. So as it does it, that's kind of how it all evaporates away. It looks like that ink just kind of going off in the distance. So I think that's the world they're going to, is probably a live action version of that world. And he's in there slowly deteriorating with the universe.
Okay. And that would make sense to the thing where...
Because it makes sense, Doctor Strange.
The one the one part of that trailer where he says, like, things just got out of hand. He is, like, broken down, beaten, and just, like, completely out of his mind at that point. So that definitely goes into that. And then you've got the Scarlet Witch, of course. She heard at the end of WandaVision her kids somewhere in another dimension, and that's what she's been doing for that. It hints that she is going to be a more of a villain in this movie, because she says, like, you break something and you become the hero. I do it and
you do, like, you boo boo.
I become the villain. And so, like, I think she's setting up very much so to be going mad, like she does in the comics when, like, House of M happens. So in the House of M, it starts where she has the kids, and, like, Xavier comes popping up and he's like, you're out your goddamn mind. You never had those kids. You're making this whole thing up.
You know what also makes a lot of sense too is kind of if House of M goes the way you say it's supposed to, would be, you know, this really sad part where Spider-Man realizes what he was. You know, Spider-Man's kind of lost everything again if he just suddenly gets everything back the way he wants. It probably wouldn't be this Tom Holland Spider-Man, but...
It really couldn't be because, like, well, Uncle Ben is one thing. In the House of M series, like, basically what happens is that Quicksilver is the one that really hints at her to make a world where everybody gets what they want, including their dad. And their dad, of course, always wanted them, like...
all the metal.
I want all the metal.
And not like metal, but music metal.
I mean, come on. Saruman and Gandalf get a freaking metal band going together.
Hell yeah.
Christopher Lee.
No, but he makes, like, a world where all the mutants are more so in charge than the humans, and there's more mutants, of course, than there are humans. But in that one, Spider-Man is married to Gwen Stacy. They have a kid, and Uncle Ben and Aunt May are, like, walking to the park with them. And when he finally gets his memory back of what it actually is like in the world, he breaks and is like, Spider-Man can't get a break. Everything that he's in, he just, like, breaks. But the House of M is where, like, of course, Quicksilver is going to have to be involved if they want to do it like the comics. I feel like instead of them doing it that way in the movies, they're going to have it to where she's already done it somewhere else in a different dimension. And that's why Xavier is here. And he's like, look, that bitch crazy. She needs to get taken care of. Like, nip it right here, right now. And she's just like, why am I the villain? Because I'm just trying to find my kids.
See, I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they're going to somewhat do that. But I think they're going to pull... Because the show made sure to kind of mention she was a Nexus being.
Yeah.
They had the medicine that was next to stuff. So I think that's true. I think she's going to be the same in all universes. But I wonder if it's her split between all the different multiverses. Not necessarily a different version of her, but her. And it's her doing that, like it's actually her controlling it. Because there is that one scene where she's real bloody in the trailer and it like goes in her eye. And it's like, wow.
Like shattered.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I want to see how they're going to do her in the multiverse.
We also see like she's going and touching, like she's dressed up like Scarlet Witch on the ground, and then another version of her is like reaching out to her to like caress her cheek.
I really want them to put her in like a Full House situation and just have them replace her sisters with her. And then like, I don't remember this universe.
Actually, they still could work though if Quicksilver suggests for her to make everybody happy, because, or at least make all the mutants on top as well, because they brought in the Fox Quicksilver, which is the one that really has, you know, that they were really shit on in that universe.
They still haven't brought mutants into the actual Marvel universe.
Yeah, they did. Rambeau from she's the first mutant. She mutated going through her spell, and they even said that her cells mutated.
Yeah.
So she is now the official first mutant in the
Okay.
MCU.
Now, see, I did not put two and two together on that. It's just like, to me, it sounded like they were like, look, you've been through this too many times. You're literally changing. You need to stop.
Yeah, no, that's their way of making her a mutant. Is she got her powers and something mutated her to get her powers?
Okay. So then there's the first one.
But still, I think that Quicksilver would be much better to tell her to make the world like if it does go the way House of M says, where everybody's mutants are on top, everybody's got what they want, because he's seen the bad side of how they treat mutants. I mean, mutants are almost brand new in this universe.
Well, see, they're also
It's
going to
just
be
she's the first
doing.
one.
They're also going to be doing an X-Men 97 series.
Are they for sure?
So from what I read, it says that they're getting their first Marvel Studios production, and it's going to be an animated series taking place in the classic period of X-Men that you may remember from the 90s animated series. The story, according to... I told him while I was researching, like, if they don't make a, like, cooler version or, like, something like that theme song, it's not an X-Men series to me.
Who would you want to do it though? If you had to pick a band out there to do it,
Metallica.
Why?
Because it's the 90s.
I mean, it would be cool. But I don't know. The people who do the gay bar song would be good.
Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the band. Like Electric something.
Six.
Yes, Electric Six.
They would be good.
That would be good. Yeah.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
That would be good. As long as they make it somewhat like the old series, that would be fine.
I mean,
to me.
whatever orchestra they use for every Marvel movie is pretty good anyway. So
Yeah. But they said that it will follow a familiar team with the DNA of the original show after an impactful event in the X-Men 97 will launch the reunited X-Men into an all-new chapter that will resonate with fans of the original series. So Marvel has wrote on it, and they do plan on doing something like that, which if this happens, like, in this how it might go down, where they're like, oh shit, these mutants are becoming a problem, we need to kind of get something together like this guy did, and like bring him in there.
You know what we're gonna get with this because of just our world right now? We're gonna get a whole bunch of like mutant lives matter and shit, like when they do like the X-Men stuff and you have like the whole people going after mutants and stuff, like we're gonna get that in this because it's just the culture we live in, so we're gonna have those sides in it.
I mean, you're not wrong. So they're going to be doing something with X-Men, so then it could possibly be. As far as the House of M, I don't think they're going to make it a big to-do. I think they're going to focus more so on the Secret Invasion.
I do too. Like, I feel like House of M is gonna be Civil War all over again. They're gonna do a little bit here in Doctor Strange. If they do a second season WandaVision somehow or another, or they do like another, I don't know, Loki show, it might be part of that. But like, I just don't see them. I see them doing parts of the people that want to see like her having her kids freaking out, breaking shit. But like, that's it.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I'm not the biggest fan of Civil War. It's a great storyline. Infinity War was my jam, but they really should have done Civil War better in the movies. Like, it was just kind of, it's one thing I have with the MCU. They take things that are really good and they cut it down too short. They bring bad guys in and it's like, hey, that'd be a good bad guy to keep bringing back, but
I think that's
we're gonna kill him now.
I'm hoping they go this way, but I think that doing shows like they have been doing give it so much more time to like develop a story, which I'm glad they've been doing these shows, giving episodes, and maybe we'll get more seasons of the same ones like Loki, like you mentioned. But shows give you a whole lot more time to do a storyline, and I think these big events will probably be a movie. Like if you say like House of M and Secret Invasion, all these things, they'll probably have a movie at some point that kind of congeals a lot of these things together. But the shows have been a lot more effective, I think, in telling the storyline than
It fills those small gaps. It's literally like the comic books. So like, you know, even like the Civil War comic books, you had the main Civil War storyline, but each character had their own little branch and story that connected to it. So that's what they're doing. But I don't know, like you brought Ultron in, cool. Then you killed Ultron. You know what I mean?
You like the Ultron robots when they in the Doctor Strange trailer?
I don't think. I think that's actually they're going to be Ultron robots, but they're going to be good Ultron. They're going to be the Ultron that worked.
Yeah.
So like it's just like you keep bringing people into it, and you're like awesome, and then you kind of run like they did better. Like Agatha Harkness, they didn't kill off. She's going to still pop up somewhere. You can see that
She's
happening.
supposed to kind of train.
Well, that in the comics, yes, she was like she did train Wanda into her power, but they did say they are going to do Agatha House of Darkness show, so she is going to get her own thing.
So I'm hoping they start like expanding or like not killing, like they did with Crossbones. You know, he's in like a few movies, and you finally just like, oh, we blew up, but imploded him and sucked him up to, I don't know what exactly happened to him. He blew up by a bomb, but then it also sucked him into like a black hole from the bomb. So don't really know how that worked, but he's somewhere.
You don't ask questions that happen.
And then, so going into this, the one movie we haven't talked about, I'm sure you probably got on here, is Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumanium, because that's supposed to be huge. Because that's gonna
28th,
because that's gonna bring Kang fully into it.
Yes, and Adam Warlock.
Which is weird.
We've already since we're on the subject here.
Is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 first or Ant-Man? Because
Guardians of the Galaxy is May 5th of 2023.
Adam Warlock's supposed to be in that.
He's going to be more in it, but I think he's going to get introduced and stuff. I know they got the holiday special too that's coming out for Guardians before the movie.
So they're going to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to have let's see, the guy that was in Kang the Conqueror in the Loki series is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah. Adam Warlock is going to be in the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Kang's
supposed to be in that too. He's supposed to be the main bad guy in Ant-Man and Wasp.
So my question is, why Adam Warlock now? Like,
well, that's why I think they're bringing the Illuminati in.
I feel like they've missed their opportunity because, like, Adam Warlock should have absolutely been in the Infinity Gauntlet because it's the whole, like, he's the one that was just, like, first started it and then was like, we need more help. And then they went to get the Avengers and all that stuff.
And then he got the glove and he was like, I'm going to fuck everybody's world up.
And they're like, nope, that's too much power, sir. You got to spread that between people, all right? You got to give that up. So, like, they missed their opportunity to have Adam Warlock in here. Now, the guy that they have him playing, I will say I never saw it coming. But he does look like he would be a good Adam Warlock.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
He's not pretty enough. Like, I get there's people who are, he's glowed up a lot. I get it, but
he's an actor though. Like, they know he's an actor from other things.
Be the perfect human.
Yeah, so like maybe they're going to give him a chance and maybe he can do this well. My question is, what are they going to do with him? So, like, yes, the Illuminati and everything, but like,
I think he's going to be the one that's able to fix the multiverse. I think they're going to do it that way, where he's going to be able to stop Kang from starting another multiversal war, and he's going to be the main person to be able to figure that out and help with like fighting all the different Kangs. But I also think, so I'm going to dive into my deep end of stuff. So this is probably going to ruin some of the stuff he's going to bring up. My bad. I'm going to just apologize.
It's okay.
So we know Reed Richards is going to be in Doctor Strange 2.
Yes.
It is almost for sure going to be John Krasinski. He's going to be in there. Fantastic Four is coming out before Blade, I think, but after Guardians 3, I think.
Which one?
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four, for what I could see, does not have a date on it yet. So
I think it's going to come, but I think what's going to happen is we got Celestials now. I think we're going to go way deeper into Celestials. I think even with Doctor Strange 2, everyone's like saying it's Mephisto, it's going to be Nightmare. You got the little tentacle monster in there. I have a feeling at some point Kang's not only going to be the big baddie that they keep saying, it's going to be the Celestials that we keep seeing. They brought Ego in saying he was a Celestial, but then you see real Celestials coming from
Judge. Well, Judge is a good one, I thought. Are you talking which one?
Well, I'm just talking about all the Celestials right now because that there's a whole theory now that Ego was really like a celestial parasite, and he knew that they destroy worlds. So that's why he was going to put himself on all these worlds that Celestials haven't been born from yet, and then he was going to steal their power as they were born from the world. So I got a feeling like they're going to do that, but Galactus is going to come in there, fill that role of eating celestial planets before they're born, and then you're going to get Silver Surfer, and then you're going to get that tied to Adam Warlock. And then that's going to be Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Young Avengers, all them going against all the Kangs from all the multiverses and then stopping everything. And then that's how it's going to go out.
Yeah. See, because I know with the...
And Kevin Feige, if I'm right, I'll take a job for pretty cheap. Just put me in there.
So I know, like, with the Secret Invasion and everything, one of the things that they needed Mr. Fantastic to be able to get the powers to be able to hide on Earth without being caught. So like they like made copies of him and stuff like that and just kept going and going and going until they finally found something that they could use to make something so that they could just go on Earth, be these people, and not be caught. Because like Doctor Strange and all them, they could tell whenever there was something different about people, so they needed something, and so they found a way to do it. They just could never revert back to their old self because of it. And so like they're going to need Richards for that. Like if they do it comic book wise, they're going to need him for that. But definitely Reed Richards is going to be in the Doctor Strange movie because of the people that are up top, which then, like you said, will bring in the Silver Surfer, which brings in a whole celestial thing, and that would fit in with Dr. Doom. You hope it's good. Like that. Look, the first movies were not bad. Like in the day, like I thought it was.
I didn't like the Victor Von Doom of the first two movies, but I didn't mind when he was Doom. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
And then the new Doom, I didn't like Victor Von Doom or internet high speed, not dial up Dr. Doom. I didn't like that at all. That was dumb.
Yeah. No,
He's like, I'm Al Gore. I invented the internet.
I still think that there's more going on than just King the Conqueror. I wonder if King the Conqueror is going to be kind of like supposedly the in-game villain, but eventually there's going to be somebody else.
Well, they said from like the end of Endgame, as soon as they announced that, was it Jonathan Majors, I think is Kang, that Kang's the next big baddie for the first part of Phase 4. Now, I don't know if Phase 4...
but that's
what it sounds like. Well, what it sounds like they're trying to do is not do a 10-year phase again. They want to do like a 3-year phase, 5-year phase, and then move to the next phase because...
There's a lot of story.
They don't want another Robert Downey Jr. Have someone committed for 10 years and they're like, I don't ever want to be part of y'all's shit again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
Because, there's a lot of possibilities which could be next. We keep saying Null, like I keep saying Null, just because they have introduced some pretty interesting things that might happen. I still don't think Null, because Null just really doesn't care about sides or anything. He just wants to kill Celestials and bring darkness. So he's not got a lot of an agenda. Anyways.
Right. And that's the thing, too, is they brought up things to kill gods in the new movies. Like, you got the god, Butcher. You have the Ebony Blade. You have Celestials getting killed or getting not getting birthed. So, like, all the stuff they're doing is slowly bringing up, like, they're going to have to start fighting Celestials, which to me, just Galactus has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to.
It's funny they haven't had anything.
And it better not be a
yet.
goddamn smoke monster hand that just touches the globe. That shit was that. Oh, I was so excited whenever Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer came out. I was like, oh my God, we're going to get Galactus. It was just like, it's a cloud. I'm like,
what is this madness?
it was so bad. It's like the live action Sailor Moon movie. Just terrible.
Is that the Battle of the Green Lantern?
Better.
No, see, like that was on par of the Sailor Moon where you just like take a plush of a cat. You're like, you know what? We ain't got no budget. Chuck it across. Just like, don't even put a string on it. Just chuck it and hope that it lands.
They can't even get a fishing string.
So, yeah, of course, like with the King the Conqueror thing too, like for the Young Avengers, there is the part where like he goes back in time and makes like a vision thing where he is like a kid and it's called Iron Lad, and that's what starts the Young Avengers. So
I hope it makes him Scottish. Iron Laddie!
I am the Iron Lad! Make the Avengers with me!
And everyone's just like, huh?
What are you talking about?
It's just Mike Myers doing the Scottish accent the whole time.
Oh my God. Kate, move! No! It's like, don't tell me what to do, Iron Lad.
That's the best part of that entire movie. Like, for anyone who don't know what we're talking about, I married an axe murderer. And Mike Myers as his dad is the best part. Head, move!
No! It's like, Dad, it's like, what is wrong with the Colonel? Because he puts a chemical in his chicken to make us crave for a nightly smart ass. It's like, right, cuckoo, that little face that he makes when he turns around and looks at me like, ah.
Yeah. That like always drunk but not really sure what you're doing face.
It's like, I'm telling you, it's like that head.
If you like my bed.
That's such a great movie.
Just that scene. The rest of the movie sucks.
It's like I will quote on a normal basis. Like if people ask me, I'm not very good at time. So like if someone asks me how long it's going to take me, I'm going to tell you like 20 minutes. It's not going to be 20 minutes.
Facts.
It's like every time I do that, I always quote that movie because I'm like, actually, I have no concept of time.
You absolutely do not.
I do not. No, I do not. So I think that Secret Invasion is going to be something that's kind of the smaller thing that they're going to do because you have to have a lot of people in this to be able to do Secret Invasion to make it right. So Elektra, you're giving a face.
So Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. We gonna get Super Skrull since we got Fantastic Four coming too.
I want it. I want it so bad.
But that's the other thing. Like if you're gonna do that, I'm so tired of MCU. Like we're gonna do some really neat stuff, and they start doing some neat stuff, but they're like, we're gonna pull it back a little bit. Like Thanos, we're like, hey, he's gonna kill half the universe, but we're gonna make it have a really sensible backstory behind it because his world,
he's now a farmer,
was overly done, and all that stuff. Instead of just like, look, he just wants his woman's tang, and he's gonna do anything for her. She's just like, hey, kill half the universe. He's like, no problem, baby. Dead. Instead, he's like, my world was terrible. People was fighting for food. So I was like, if we just kill half of them, it works. Don't make them have sense. It's dumb. Make him just like, I want that booty. Let's die.
What do you want me to do to get that booty? It's like, you'd have to kill like half the universe. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what made it so cool and so like, oh my God, was that she was just like, kill half the universe. He's like, okay.
Yeah. It
was literally a snap of his fingers. Not like, he can snap to make the power work. It was at a snap of his fingers, he killed half the universe on a whim.
They made him way too relatable.
Yeah.
And that's not what Thanos was supposed to be.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the Mad Titan for a reason. It wasn't because he was angry. It was because he was crazy. Not angry mad. Mad crazy.
Yeah.
The Mad Hatter.
It's like I know for me personally, like I love Civil War and I was a little depressed at that, but like once I found out what they were going to do with Thanos, I know you are a huge fan of the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos, and it's like that's a little depressing.
Yeah.
But
so like I got all these hopes, but it's not going to happen.
I think for how much they've already changed a lot of the MCU stuff, you really have to be like going with slow expectation sometimes.
Because Multiverse of Madness should be able to reset anything they want to reset. They can literally go in there and be like, nothing from this point on happened, and restart everything. This light gets me every single time it changes. If you all don't know, because we're not on video, my light above our table goes from white to like yellow.
It does not. Your black light turns off.
Ooh.
It counters and makes it look white.
Yes, and I'm sitting here with both of them in my peripheral vision, and it's like when that goes off, everything behind you just goes black. It's like, ugh.
I did not notice. But anyways, my bad, tangent. But yeah, so like I'm really worried. Like there's things I want to see happen. This is the time you can fix everything. You can fix, Days of Future Past. You can fix the shitty Sentinels that you did in that movie. You can fix and redo the shitty MODOK that you did. You can fix and add Mr. Sinister like he was going to do. You can fix the shitty Phoenix movie. Like, there is so much we can do at this moment in time. If they don't, why?
Here's why I don't think they will. One, Disney. Two, I think they really want to make an overarching story that's accessible to everybody, not just the hardcore comic book nerds.
While I get that, there are certain things that that's
money.
So like I've said many times so far, like I went on a tangent and I read all the comics that I could get my grubby little hands on before all those movies came out, like back in the day. I fell in love with the Ultimates, like the first, second, and third comics way back in the day, in which it was where Captain America was married to the Wasp because the Wasp's husband, I can't remember what he
was it. Hank Pym at the time?
Yeah, but Hank Pym, where he beat her, and so
yeah, he did.
So Captain America pretty much saved her, and they fell in love and made and then you had Wanda and Quicksilver were in a relationship, like an ancestral one, and it was a real weird comic.
It was Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver Lannister.
But like you had where Thor was this hippie dude who just traveled around and he's like, yay, I am Thor, the god of thunder, and you should do what we do, and just peace and love, everybody. But his brother, Loki, you didn't see it coming in Ultimates 2. And at one point, like, you can see that he was behind, like, every single scene. And he's like, I'm so sorry for my brother. He's crazy. Like, he thinks he's Thor, the God of Thunder. Like, he's just a harmless guy. And they put him in a cage. And he's like, brother, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't need you to be walking around while I do this. So now I'm going to be able to do what I can do because you're in a cage. And I was like, ooh, who's this character? And I fell in love with Loki from that point on. I read all the comics. I read Siege. I read, like, when Asgard...
You looked at all the porn.
I looked at all the porn. Like, I was into it. I was super excited whenever they came out with a Thor movie. And I was like, okay, so they've made him a whiny little baby, but maybe whenever he comes in the Avengers, it'll be better.
He sacrifices himself. That's right. That's Loki, right?
It didn't get better. He does sacrifice himself once. And that's whenever Ragnarok comes, and he does it, and, like...
But that wasn't Ragnarok when he just bitched out and got choked out by Thanos.
Right.
For some reason.
But, like, every single movie he's been in since has not been the Loki that I've wanted.
Well, 2 especially. You said you didn't like it from 2.
I hated 2.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't show enough of his power in the first movie, and then they were like, oh, you want power? Let's show power. So it shows him, like, walking behind...
Crying in a cell.
Well, that. But, like, he walks behind a pillar, and he turns into Captain America, and he's like, I'm Captain America, 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 America. And then, like, he goes behind and turns back into Loki, and I'm like...
Yeah, but the real good illusion he did, he looked like Roseanne's daughter. He looked 100% like Darla, or whatever her name was.
Darla, yeah.
I think that's what they're going to do with most characters. They're going to make them relatable, like you said.
No, they should, though, because that's one thing that's why I've always liked Marvel better than DC. DC's always had their superheroes with dumb weaknesses. It's always been Superman. This rock kills him.
Kryptonite, yeah.
Flash, cold. Green Lantern, yellow. It's always dumb stuff.
Batman parents.
Right. Martian Manhunter, magical fire. But you go through those ones, and it's like, yeah, okay, I get, like, they got those. But then you go to, like, X-Men, and, they're going through, like, real stuff. Like, you have, like, love, triangles and stuff happen. You have different things going on there. You have people with drug addiction. I mean, one of my favorite heroes of all time is Snowflake, who has a cocaine addiction, and he gets all his powers from taking cocaine. And his one weakness is he has a cocaine addiction, which just makes him more powerful and stronger each time he does more cocaine. So I like
this vicious cycle.
Yeah. So I really like how Marvel went through and, like, gave everybody a real relatable thing. Like, you have Spider-Man, who had his uncle died.
That's
had
not
his parents
relatable to the general public, though. That's the problem.
Oh, but there is, because then he goes through all the struggles of what a teenage kid goes through when their body's changing, because his body's changing into a superhero. So it goes through and makes everything relatable to humans somehow or another. You got the X-Men, who are mutants, who are all getting betrayed and going through all this stuff of being, hated because they're mutants. You have different groups of people in the world that have that going on. So, like, it made every single superhero relatable. So I think they could do it still, and still go back to the comics really well and reset everything. They just won't.
One of the problems is Disney is the problem, because Disney, they got in big trouble just recently for passing that.
Can't say gay.
Yeah, can't say gay, and people are pissed off about
that. Like, I get it, but Disney's also, if you look at Star Wars and stuff, have been pushing stuff. Even like the live action movies where they bring in characters that were in the original show and they're like, oh yeah, that character is going to be a gay character. Well, why?
Well, they didn't even do anything good gay-wise in Star Wars at all. They didn't do anything good in Star Wars.
But they went full, like, hardcore, here's our powerful supporting lead women roles. And then they didn't make them good lead women roles.
Freaking Rose Tico.
Look, the one woman is giving us a weird, like...
No, I agree, 100%.
You had the one...
I got her into Star Wars
right.
again.
You got the one captain who drew the ship into, like, hyperspace, or hyperspeed, into a ship. Cool. But they made a big deal about her. She's like this big, huge general. She didn't do nothing in the movie. Then you have Princess Leia, who Superman's through fucking space for some damn reason. You got Rose, the little Asian chick that was like not a good character in the first movie. In the third movie, she's like, I'm going to lead all these people on these little speeder things to the salt and then worry about this guy. I'm like, just stop. Just make a good movie. I don't care.
And Rey had like anger problems out of nowhere in the third movie,
and somehow or another, Force transported a lightsaber to Kylo Ren, and he was wearing his dad's sweater. He's like, "You want to fight? You want to go? You want to go?"
It was confusing, but that's what I'm afraid of for Disney. They don't know what they want to be. They want money. They're trying to appease almost everybody at the same time, and you've got the religious people. You've got every other group out there that hates every other. It's just a mess. You can't please everybody, and they're trying.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing: Disney owns the rights to Pretty Woman too. So you have someone who owns a movie about a whore that is one of their best-selling movies. Like, we watch a thing like of Disney movies that are like top grossing. Pretty Woman was like one of the top grossing movies until Lion King came out. So think about that. That movie was so like, yes, but I don't know. I'd see Marvel has always been really good about their stories. If you really go into them, doesn't matter if you're a nerd or not, you could enjoy and get the story. I really do feel that way. So I feel like if they just reset it all, I think if they reset Peter Parker's story to where Ned and MJ remember him, it'll be good. I don't know.
Yeah, that was. I get the whole point of it, that there is risk and there's stakes.
Hopefully we get Gwen Stacy or Spider Gwen from it, or we get
I would love Spider Gwen.
Black Cat or
Black Cat has not been introduced in any of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, just the cartoon.
I am so confused. Like, she was a big part of it, like, especially with MJ and everything. Like, where is she gone?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that kind of happens, and like I'm kind of hoping like they do like the Gwen, and he starts dating her, and then like that makes MJ snap the spell because she sees him happy with Gwen, and it's not supposed to be, and then Ned turns into a hobgoblin, and then Ned kills Gwen Stacy. I mean, Spider-Man kills her, but he throws her to where Spider-Man can kill her, because that has to happen. I don't care who you are. You got to snap that bitch's neck. And then...
See, I thought they did it worse in the movies, like, because they didn't snap her neck. She just barely tapped that floor, and you heard it throughout the whole theater. Like, oh!
You saw it with me, didn't you? Yeah. And I was like, yeah! And everyone in the theater was like, what? I was like, sorry, guys, this is a real big important part of the Spider-Man. It needed to happen. I'm sorry.
Like, you know,
trauma.
In the comic, he just, like, she's flying through the air off the bridge, and he grabs her and, like, doesn't realize physics and snaps her neck. But in the movie, he lets her drop, and he catches her, but she smacks her head on the concrete floor, and you hear that little... It's like, which one's worse, guys? I'm pretty sure that one's worse than the snapping of the neck.
Well, but what's nice about that was the movie set it up the whole time.
Yeah.
So like I was watching the Amazing Spider-Man, and it was like Gwen. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna do Gwen. Oh my god, they're gonna kill her. And then just watching the first movie, you see him like save this one kid by like shooting him when he was flying the car and save him. I was like, and then do it again. I was like, oh my god, and then they didn't kill her the first movie. I was like, damn it. And then the second movie she died. I was like, oh.
It's gonna happen, guys. She's gotta die.
Yeah, like it's just like the same thing. Like you gotta have those things. Like she's gotta die. Ben's gotta die.
Yeah. With great power comes great responsibility.
If they're gonna do an X-Men movie, and if they're doing Disney Plus shows, we need a Jubilee show. And all she does is just travel the country and do fireworks shows for baseball games when the home team wins.
Now, I will say,
let's go Ridge.
When you go on to the Marvel Unlimited page, like they are doing a thing right now for like Women of Marvel. There is a whole thing with Jubilee right now. Like she looks amazing.
I don't understand how she became such a popular character. I really don't.
Because she's so bad, but good.
No, she is horrible. She has never done anything good.
She created fireworks.
The best thing she's ever done was when I created a shirt in like 1999 that was the bridge over Louisville, like over a river, with her underneath it shooting fireworks from her hand for the Thunder over Louisville shirt I made. And it cracked my shit. I had that thing for like 10 years and it finally ruined, but it was just her standing on the bridge shooting fireworks up, and it was just Thunder over Louisville. Thanks, Jubilee.
I will say that was pretty good, yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I hate her. There's some characters I just hate. And then, like, so they can also fix, Cyclops and Havoc being in the X-Men at the right times, not backwards.
Yeah, that one got me on that one. Like that whole X-Men thing, like the first one, like what was it called?
The first X-Men or the First Class.
First Class. That one was great. I loved it. It was wonderful. Like Magneto was amazing in it, and it really showed that like the camaraderie between him and Xavier and all that stuff. Right. And then like they split because like Magneto
Days of Future Past, I think it was actually first. And then they did First Class. I don't know. Either way, those are back to back.
Yeah, so it's First Class is the first one. And like then they did the second one. It went downhill after the third. And I heard that Nightcrawler was going to be in the third one because they were showing like the Jean Grey and all that stuff coming.
The Dark Phoenix one?
Yeah. Well, Dark Phoenix was after So there's 4, I think, in total.
Maybe.
We're gonna find out.
Nightcrawler's in Dark Phoenix, and his scenes are actually pretty decent. I'll give him he's probably my favorite part of that movie.
So you had the first X-Men movies from like the 2000s.
X1, 2, and 3.
Yes. Then you had
X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
which I thought that I downloaded a like before DVD version of that movie. It was not. It was the full-fledged thing, and it was awful.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. But I mean, like, at least it gave Ryan Reynolds like Deadpool, and he's like, you know what I really like? It's like I'm going to do this, and like actually made a Deadpool movie after that.
That's one person I wish they would keep as the actor is Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth. I really liked him as Sabretooth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was an amazing Sabretooth.
Better than the one they had for the X1, 2, and 3 movies.
He just looked like a lion with like a human face. No, I loved him in the Origins movie. So then you had X-Men First Class, 2011.
Oh, Apocalypse. That's it.
That's the one.
We don't talk about Apocalypse.
The Wolverine came out in 2013 to show his backstory. Then Days of Future Past.
The Wolverine was way better than X-Men Origins.
Yes. Hands down, 100%.
I actually watched that one with you, and it was really good.
Yeah. Like, I love Wolverine, and I love his backstory. Of course, Mr. Samurai and all that jazz. But, like...
That's another thing I was going to bring up about Winter Soldier 2. They finally brought Madripoor into the MCU.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So that's where they bring the Power Broker in. They go to Madripoor to find the Power Broker. So they bring that in, and that's where you start seeing a lot of other stuff. So that's also where apparently there might be a X-Men, Wolverine, Easter egg somewhere in there. I haven't seen it. I've looked for it, but that might be in there. They go to Madripoor with Shang-Chi too. They go there, and that's where you see Abomination fighting Wang. Not Wang. What's the other guy's name? The new Sorcerer Supreme, because Strange left. Wong. So you see him fighting him, and that's where he does the thing. Abomination punches himself.
Yeah. Well, then maybe they'll...
X-Men has to happen.
It does, but like I don't think the Hugh Jackman would do Wolverine again. Like,
It's not. I think it's gonna be the guy from the little kid. Not the little kid, but the guy who played in Kingsman.
Okay. Yeah.
I think because he apparently has been growing out his sideburns and getting all muscular and buff, and they don't know why.
Why else would you do the sideburns?
And like he had a picture of him like in like just like a towel, and his like hotel room was all like beefed up. His hair is up and like just on the sides kind of, and he's got his sideburns down. I was like, just say you're gonna be Wolverine to make everyone happy.
I don't know which exact guy you're talking about in the
It's
Kingsman.
Disney, you can't do that.
I don't know which one you're talking about in the Kingsman, but I just remember Michael Caine being in it, so that's who I'm thinking.
That'd be
you're talking
awesome if Michael Caine was Wolverine.
I am the Wolverine. Hi there, sweet cheeks.
What is it? I can't ever think of his name.
Master Xavier.
I wouldn't even be angry about that either. Like
Master Xavier.
Yeah.
Looks like we have to.
Taron Egerton or whatever, that guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The young guy.
Yeah, he would be. Ooh, he would be a good one.
Yeah, and he's small already, so he fits the size.
Hugh Jackman could make a cameo, but he said he doesn't want to do any more.
He's gonna make a cameo.
I only watched First Class. I could not bring myself to do Days of Future Past. And then when I saw Apocalypse, I was like,
They went down. Apocalypse was so confusing. Like, it was so bad.
Is it because Apocalypse was like Ivan Ooze?
I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm not. Look, if it's not meant to be corny and cheesy like that, I'm not watching it. How about taking another quack at it? I love that movie. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, old school 90s, need to watch it. The very end when they're sitting there eating and they have Van Halen. It's like the higher song. It's like, all right, guys, it's time to go back to school and get higher and higher. It's so beautiful.
So these are the ones I can find, but he was bald and out of shape for a little bit, and this is like the most recent picture where he's growing his hair back out and getting all ripped again.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh
So-
boy.
It would work.
I think he'd be a good Wolverine.
So Days of Future Past actually had Hugh Jackman in it as Wolverine.
Yeah, that's the one where they go back in time and he's just like, fuck you, and they walk away and turn around.
That was in the first one.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, when they were going to recruit people.
That was Days of Future Past because they went in the past they went back and forth to do it. They were traveling through time at the time to recruit people and get them going. Then literally it was just like, fuck you. And they're like, oh, okay. And they left.
I don't know about that.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive
pretty
it's...
sure, like, they were trying to find people, and, like, they both went into the bar, and, like, they go to sit next to him, and they're like, excuse me, we'd like to, and he goes, go fuck yourself. And they're like, okay. And then they walk out. Because he, like, kind of sits there and plays with a cigar, and then he does, like, the little one eyebrow thing and looks up.
It's First Class.
Like, yeah. I've watched that movie way too much. I love that. I love X-Men. I really do.
Yeah.
But they've never really done a good job. The only time they ever did a good job is in
No.
X-Men 2 whenever David Hayter came in.
No.
As the
I was going to say
security
no.
guard.
No.
I knew where that was going, and no. Hey guys, we need some help over here. David Hayter!
No, the problem they've done with the X-Men movies, the true problem, is one, the story's been weak. But they pick the worst cast of X-Men always. Like, let's look at, like, the first X-Men movie. Like, you had the core in there. It was okay. But then you had, like, all the good ones. Like, Iceman wasn't there. Colossus wasn't really anything major. Rogue wasn't anything special in that movie. Kind of stuff. You go in 2. I honestly don't even remember what happened. Oh, no. 2 is 2 where he goes fishing. No, that's still the first one where he fish gills through the pipes and fall in. What was the second X-Men movie?
So that one had Nightcrawler in it. And it was played by the guy that was in GoldenEye, who was, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
I only remember that because, like, he talked German and was, like, actually a pretty good Nightcrawler on there.
What happened in the second X-Men movie?
So the second one, Stryker, a villainous form.
Oh,
former
yeah, that's
Army
right.
commander.
They try to go through Wolverine's background. You get
Yeah,
full
because-
frontal Logan running down the hall with the Weapon X hat on.
It's like you get the girl, I forget what her name is, like X-23 or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, she
Asian
was in-
X-23.
Yeah. So, like, they had that in there.
And then X3 was Evil Jean Grey, where Wolverine just walked up and his skin just kept, like, deteriorating, coming back, deteriorating, coming back, deteriorating, coming back.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Well, I mean, they did the Dark Phoenix again in 2019.
They did a better job of the Dark Phoenix, but it was still a terrible movie. But that's the one where, like, the fight scene where, like, Beast, like, beast out. Like, he's just the normal guy, and then he decides to start fighting, so he turns all beast and starts fighting, and, like, they do something to Nightcrawler, and he's, like, not trying to kill anything. He's being a pacifist, kind of, and then he's, like, gets angry, and then he just starts killing people. And he teleports one girl in front of the train they're on fighting, and he teleports her in front of the tracks, and then just teleports back on the train, and she gets hit by the train and stuff. Like, it's a great Nightcrawler scene. Other than that, there's not much about the movie that's worth watching.
Yeah, I'm looking through the pictures and stuff like that, and it's like you see her.
I think that's the one in Dark Phoenix is going to be the Nightcrawler in the MCU. I think they're already kind of saying they're going to keep that.
This just looks like a fan-made movie. The way that they look in this, like, that's so bad, so bad.
I hope Deadpool's really going to be in Doctor Strange too.
I have heard rumors since, like, he jumps through all that stuff. Like, I've heard that he's more than likely going to make an appearance in it. Now, what is this? This apparently came out, and it's a Hulu thing. The New Mutants?
Yeah. Is that with Arya Stark in it and the guy from Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yeah. It was not good.
I can tell.
It was bad.
Who are they supposed to be?
The New Mutants.
Thank you.
She's Arya Stark's the one that turns into like a wolf. I don't remember. It's terrible.
Mirage, Wolfsbane, Cannonball, Sunspot, and Magic.
Yeah, and they're all terrible. They are not good.
Now, The Runaways was actually something that I really enjoyed. Although it had Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer in it as a dad, and I was like, I can't take you seriously.
Well, that's going like this. So First Class. You had Darwin as one of the First Class X-Men.
Yeah.
What? Why?
I mean, you had, like, the first grouping.
You didn't have Cyclops.
You did not have Cyclops.
He had his brother.
Yeah.
His younger brother, but older brother in that movie.
Yeah, and then didn't you have oh my god, the white one, the diamond.
That's racist.
Thank you. Emma Frost.
Emma Frost, yep, she was in it.
And she wasn't supposed to be in it anytime soon.
Yeah,
Like,
it just that's what like. Just give me one good X-Men iteration, like.
it could happen in the.
And then,
well, they're definitely going to be having like a lot of stuff going down in Doctor Strange. They've
the
hinted,
immunities.
The immutanties. They're going to be doing an Armor Wars show with.
If they don't have the cartoon Iron Man theme song as the theme song for that, which is am Iron Man. Like, if they don't have that, I'm gonna be angry. Like, just play on a radio and just like turn that off.
Yeah, we don't need that. They also have Ironheart coming out, which is the little girl Iron Man thing coming out. That's supposedly going to be going with the whole Young Avengers thing too. So I don't know. I feel like we're going in the House of M in one aspect. We're going to, of course, we're going to do the Secret War in another one. Kang the Conqueror is definitely going to play a huge role in a lot of these different things. So I feel like that's the way that we're going to be going with the series. I think that they are gearing up to do something celestial, like Galactus and all of that stuff. Like, there's only one way to go from this point on.
Yeah. And like, I don't know how you couldn't do those things.
Yeah. Well, especially once you get like the Fantastic Four into it and everything like that. Like,
now, I do see maybe where Mephisto or Nightmare, because that's another rumor that's going to be the person behind like the Doctor Strange stuff. I could see it being Mephisto because Ghost Rider is supposed to pop up somewhere in the next few movies / TV shows somewhere.
If it's not Nicolas Cage, I don't care.
It's supposed to be what they're talking. It might still be the guy who did it in
The show, Shield.
the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show.
yeah.
He
But
was fine.
I do want them to have Nick Cage Ghost Rider for a second. Not first movie Nick Cage Ghost Rider, but second movie
Yes,
Nick
the
Cage, because where he's
second
real
one.
crazy and stuff.
It was Nick Cage too.
Yeah.
That one, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
It was way better than the first.
Oh
The
my
first
God.
one was not good.
I love the fact that like Nicolas Cage had to put makeup over a tattoo that he has of Ghost Rider,
Right.
because like they were like, you can't have Ghost Rider on Ghost Rider, like that's weird. You got to put something on that. But like he is such a huge fan of Ghost Rider, and he got to play it, and he is so good on the second one. Like he's actually
When he's like driving the motorcycle and
And
he's
he's
like
going,
turning into and like switching back and forth, so good.
Oh, it was such a good movie, and like I was not expecting that, and then like Idris Elba was in it.
Then you saw Drive Angry, like this is just Ghost Rider, but he's not a Ghost Rider
It didn't have those
with
Ghost
the worst
Rider
special effects.
No, I really do think that they're going to be like pulling out some small. They're even doing a She-Hulk at some point, and they've said it's going to be a
That's
Marvel
soon too.
Law and
That's
Order.
gonna be after Doctor Strange, I think.
It doesn't give like what I was looking up. It didn't give a specific date, but it is like sometime in this year that it's going to come out. But they said they're going to try and do it like in a Law and Order MCU.
Bum bum.
Yes, exactly.
Doo, doo, doo.
But I'm thinking if that's the case, maybe that's why they put, spoilers, Matt Murdock in the Spider-Man movie for that split second, is maybe he'll be in the She-Hulk show. And that's how they'll bring like Hell's Kitchen into it. Like more so than what they did for the Daredevil show.
As long as they just introduce the show every episode the same way they do
Law and Order.
Law and Order.
It's like, this is Law and Order.
Yeah.
Doo, doo.
Boo, doo, 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 doo.
Do, 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 do. I'd be totally down for a She-Hulk, Daredevil, like Law and Order show.
It literally is Law and Order, just with those characters in it.
Yep. It's like every once in a while you'll see them have to get like beat up by somebody or something like that, but it's
Mariska
still,
Hargitay's in there still.
it's like when you still have them like in the courtroom most of the time doing stuff instead of an actual like superhero show. I would love that.
Yeah, she only uses her superpowers like, we locked the door and we can't unlock it because someone lost the key. She's like, oh, I got it. And that's it.
And that's the only time you ever see him. Like she goes like I think she stays green, doesn't she?
Yeah,
like she
she's
never
constantly green.
Yeah, like she never goes to like her human form. So
She's
like,
basically a smart Hulk, but not big and beefy.
yeah,
But still
super
big
strong.
and beefy.
Yeah. So like I would love to see something like that. But like Jessica Jones and all that stuff, like maybe might come back for the Secret Invasion.
Well, it sounds like what they're going to do is bring back Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, maybe Jessica Jones, and for sure recast Ironheart or Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, yeah. I loved Iron Fist. I could not finish that show. Like
Yeah,
it
I
just,
hate Iron Fist.
I love Iron Fist.
I hate Heroes for Hire. I don't really like Luke Cage. Like, I never understood everyone like in Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Heroes for Hire. They're like, oh, it's so awesome. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, I've like I said, I've been.
You like Luke Cage because he says funny stuff when he hits
Yeah.
people.
I like the all the Christmas references and getting coffee and stuff. Like, I like that stuff about
Yeah.
Luke Cage, but
It's like like I said, I've been recently reading through the Secret Invasion and
Every time he
everything.
hits somebody, he's like,
It's,
ugly.
it's
Sweet
like,
Christmas.
it's like, damn, you ugly, boom. But like he had like the little like metal bar around him, and he had like the yellow jacket and everything.
He had it in the show for like all of 30 seconds.
Yes, and it was glorious. I liked Jessica Jones for one reason.
David Tennant.
David Tennant. I am a huge David Tennant Doctor Who fan. Like anything past
I can make
Matt
her
Smith.
cry right now if you really want me to. I don't want to go.
I will never forget when we all could not go to work and we got iced into the apartments. And Corey was just like, y'all do what you want to do. Like, we're going to bed. And I sat on that couch and I watched the specials. And like Drew woke up. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm sitting there crying. I'm like, just go back to bed. Don't worry about me.
Or that time he was watching Doctor Who and we was all going to get together and watch the new series, premiere. And someone made a Fez hat. And it was literally the worst cake I've ever eaten my entire life because I'm pretty sure she made it from an actual Fez hat.
And just for everyone,
and she's
home,
a baker.
I am
Professionally.
professional. I have CPC at the end of my name, which means certified pastry
To be
chef.
fair, you were not a baker at all.
I was not then. No, I tried my hardest to make that cake, and it failed miserably. I have made some since then, and they're fine.
I tried to be the best friend I could have been and ate it. And I was like, it's real good. So good. I'm going to go get me a gallon of milk.
It was a box cake, and I tried.
It wasn't as good as the cake in the cup.
All right, so I know we've been going for a while, but we still got more.
We do.
Sinister Six. Is it going to happen?
You got a lot of notes left.
No, we've actually covered pretty much all of my notes on here.
We jumped around a lot.
Yeah, like all of my stuff was mostly on like Scarlet Witch, the Secret Invasion, and everything like that. So we've covered all of that. But now,
Only reason I'm bringing up Sinister Six is because I got this really cool Sinister Six picture behind Amber's head that I'm looking at, and I really want it.
well, so you had Sandman in the newest one. You had Doc Ock in the newest one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you already had the Vulture in there.
Well, yeah, you got the Vulture is in there. You have a person that, the person who is the Lizard, not the Lizard, that is Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the second Spider-Man movie. He's in the first one, too. And he's in the prison scene with the Vulture.
Yeah.
So he's in those movies. So he's in the MCU. We haven't had a Dr. Octavius really in the MCU yet. I mean, I guess we had Sam Raimi's version of it. But
you did have a split.
who became a good guy? Dumb.
Well, that whole thing. Well, let's.
Then you had super cool Jamie Foxx Electro.
That bothered me. That really bothered me. Like, as soon as he came in here, he was like, oh man, I feel real powerful. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like the old Electro from the movies. And then as he got farther in, I'm like, you just didn't want to look dumb in a movie. You wanted to look like the cool bad guy.
Yeah.
Which is so not Electro, like, from this, but whatever.
And then we had Mysterio, which I don't think... I'm in the agreement that he's not dead. We didn't see him die on screen, so he didn't die. I really believe that with
That is
Marvel.
the Marvel Universe.
I really want Kraven's Last Hunt. Like, I want it. Disney's not going to have the balls to ever do it.
No. You might get the Sinister Six. I
Yeah.
mean, they've put all the people out there for it, so I mean, in one shape or form.
And they keep saying there's someone buying the Avengers Tower. They haven't said who it is. They keep saying it's either going to be Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four. But I've always thought Reed Richards was a poor, broke person and just got stuff, like grants and stuff to do it, not really to buy a building. But Norman Osborn is a rich motherfucker.
He is, and that could
And I
be
feel like
Oscorp.
that's going to be the new Oscorp building.
Well, was it Blade? No, it was in Moon Knight, I think. No. There was one of them that they said that they had like a little spot where that was shown in it.
It's probably like Doctor Strange, or I don't think it would be Moon Knight, but it could be. But I would like to see that because I really do think, what I would like to see happen with the Spider-Man is Ned, MJ go to MIT, they graduate, Ned gets a job at Oscorp, and becomes Hobgoblin. Like they're going that way. He's going to be Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, whatever goblin you want to call him. He's going to be the Goblin. So I'm really looking forward to that. It'd be great to have Otto Octavius be in there somehow or another. I don't really care about Sam, and they could get rid of him.
Morbius. They already showed like that Michael Keaton's coming back as the Vulture, and it says that cops and Morbius reference Venom. Oscorp Tower looms overhead.
Now, but is that in what universe is it really going to take place in? That's what I don't understand.
Well, start with Avengers Tower is only currently in this universe as far as we know, because Oscorp was the big
but
thing in the other universe. So if
because I think Spider-Man Sony, not Fox.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's where it's going to get real confusing because Venom came from his universe into the MCU universe. But Morbius is supposed to be in that Venom's universe, I thought. And then they're pulling in Tom Holland Spider-Man because he's on the wall as a murderer. You have the Vulture in it. So is that Morbius in our MCU or is that in...
Or is it just part of the split multiverse right now? So it's kind of a mix of everything.
I don't know.
I feel like Jared Leto is going to do just fine as Morbius. I feel like he has had
I don't know. He did such a great job as the Joker.
So I really don't know if that was his fault. Like...
He sent used condoms to people.
Well, okay. So I didn't say like him as a person. Like,
well, it's because Heath Ledger. Everybody is trying to do the Heath Ledger thing. They go deep into it and go crazy.
I can't say nothing about the new Batman because I can't ruin that movie yet.
Yeah.
Well,
but
we said spoilers, but spoilers on that is a no-no.
Yeah, it just came out. So.
Yeah, but I feel like Jared Leto is one of those actors that goes above and beyond, like...
Yeah, he's a method actor.
Yeah. So, I feel like, yes, he sent condoms to people and stuff like that, but I feel like if he's an actor, if we're going to forget what he does in normal life, like what he does as an actor, like, he is a good actor, like Requiem for a Dream.
Fight Club,
like... He does a good job. So
I'm not saying he's not going to do a good job, but I don't know. I've never been a big fan of Morbius.
Neither have I. But, I mean, if it'll bring
It brings Blade.
Yeah.
That's like, it brings Blade.
Yeah. If it brings Blade into it, then I don't care.
And then, do we really want Deadpool back, or do we want Ryan Reynolds to be Hannibal again and not be Blade? Or being Blade that way? Because... he was great for that character too.
I thought about that too. I was like,
what if they do it tongue in cheek and they put him in both roles?
I would not even be angry about it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Same thing if they do Chris Evans as Human Torch skin. I'll be like,
just because it'd be like Deadpool, be like, holy shit!
Like, aren't you Captain America?
I'm about to say,
flame on.
I mean, technically, he is no longer Captain America. He's now living out his old life like he wants to, and he will die. No more Captain America for Steve Rogers. So if he wanted to be like the Human Flame or Human Torch, Human Flame, then he could totally be it.
That's the Walmart brand.
Human Flame.
We're the Human Flame.
That's genocide.
We're the Fantastic Quattro. You got Silly Putty Man, See-Through Woman, Sandstone Man, and then Human Flame.
See-Through Woman.
Saran Woman.
Saran Wrap Woman.
Now, the real question, too, about Reed Richards, is he like Silly Putty? Can you put him on a newspaper and it copies onto him?
I mean, like, if it's anything else, like what he can do, he can stretch. He's, what's Stretch Armstrong and all that stuff.
Corn syrup? He just made a corn syrup?
He just made a corn syrup.
Draws blood, just corn syrup? Sir?
I didn't know Matt Smith was going to be in that movie.
Yeah.
Morbius?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Nope, yep, there's a Vulture. I still haven't seen Oscorp. Oh, there's Oscorp.
Is it actual Oscorp?
Yeah. So, yep.
Is it the Avengers Tower?
Let's see here.
It's just another big building.
But that's Avengers Tower.
Yeah, that is back there.
Yeah.
So,
in the back.
So it's in that universe.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, Avengers Towers is in the process of being bought in the end of the second Spider-Man movie. That's why they're getting all the stuff out of there. So someone bought it. They haven't said who bought it yet.
I mean, with that being so close, it could be a hint. But that means that Oscorp is now in the current MCU universe.
Right.
Because that wasn't the case in the first Spider-Man.
Fantastic Four do have a place in New York that they have like their own building, kind of like Avengers Tower.
Unless you go by the original Fantastic Four movie, then that's in Vancouver.
Yeah. Well.
And I've been there.
We go by comic books here, and that is in New York, and they have a big building because that's where he has all of his stuff and he builds it and everything. So, I mean, it's close to Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Reed Richards never been a man of money like Tony Stark and Oscorp. No. So that's why, like, I don't see him being the one that bought
the Avengers Tower.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could see that you have Norman Osborn already working on his version of the Green Goblin stuff, but he needs a power source. He's buying the arc reactor that's powering the Stark Tower for Oscorp to get that power that he needs to be able to do his research. And then it's going to make him go crazy. And then Ned is going to turn crazy.
I wonder who the new Green Goblin's going to be.
Ned.
But besides...
Ned.
If we're going to do an actual Green Goblin in this universe.
Ned.
Well, I mean, he did see the Green Goblin in the third movie, so it might be...
He's going to be the Hobgoblin, is who he is. But I'm
yeah.
Him having the magic, they're really leaning on him becoming something.
Yeah.
Hobgoblin.
The little circle.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, I really feel like they're trying to go into the more like smaller storylines of the comic book series, which is fine if they can pull it off. Like, this is where you're going to start getting into the fanboys and girls who are really into the shows and stuff. Yes, and we're going to pick apart.
I want the Brood. I want the Brood so bad. I've been wanting the Brood since X-Men 1, like live action movie. I'm like, just bring the Brood one time. Just bring it.
Just one time. Just give me that Brood.
And then they hit Mr. Sinister. I was like, oh my god, yes. And then that didn't pan out. I want it.
I would like to see a House of M. I would like to see a good House of M. Like, that would be nice because you have so many X-Men that are in that one and like seeing things and stuff like that. But the nice thing is, like, on that one, you had like Spider-Woman and stuff like that was in it too. But she was the Skrull at the time of that happening.
Yeah.
So, like,
there's a lot that could be. I want to see.
And Hawkeye. Actually,
I feel like this next Doctor Strange is going to give us light of which next story we're going into when we actually watch it. But I think that we're still not going to get an answer which storyline we're going to get until the next few movies.
I think the House of M stuff is going to be partial between the lot. I really do. I don't know what the next big storyline they're doing, like Infinity War. Like, I don't know if they're really going to do one or if they're just going to literally just pull pieces together until they make, here's the Young Avengers, here's the main Avengers, here's the new Guardians, because this is the last Guardians movie. So,
yeah.
Are they going to continue Guardians and just get a new cast? Are they not going to continue Guardians? Are you going to just have a Rocket
he's
group?
going to be busy. He's doing Mario now.
it's a me, Mario.
Mario.
I
don't know, I'm okay with that too. He might be all right as a Mario.
Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
I mean, just for that laugh, it'll work.
Starting the lawnmower.
Oh, God. Don't ever do that again in my presence.
Loved it.
No.
Can you please call this episode "Started the Lawnmower"? You're like, what the hell are y'all talking
I thought
about?
you all said this was going to be about Marvel.
Yeah, for you to understand the episode, you gotta wait till the very end, guys. Sorry.
So you got to go to the very end. You got to be
Make it an Easter egg name for every episode, just like some random thing we say at the end or middle.
What's the one dream Marvel thing you want to happen?
It already did, and it was garbage.
What?
Civil War.
Okay, besides that, if you had to pick another.
I already said you have Infinity War too, so.
I loved the journey into mystery part of like Thor started it because it was like right after Loki had given himself up for Ragnarok, and they were all starting back over, and everyone hated him as the kid. Like, they were like, no matter which form you take, you suck. Like, you're not going to be in this world. And he's like, I want to be better. I loved that part of Thor. And then he also was into the Young Avengers at that point. He was like, look, I'm with the Young Avengers. I helped them out. And, like, I'm a good kid now.
I turned into a horse once and gave my dad a cool horse.
But that was old me. I don't do that anymore. And, like, they never did Lady Loki. I wanted Lady Loki somewhere. And they could have done it in Loki.
They've still got a lot to go.
They've got season 2. They've got season 2, but I feel like that's just going to be him going through the whole King the Conqueror thing.
I think it's going to be him handing it off to her, and she's going to be the new Loki. I
think
really do.
She's going to be Enchantress.
I don't. I think she's going to be Loki.
In the comics, though, that is, like, her name, Sylvie, is the Enchantress.
I still don't think it's going to be. If so, they're going to meld both characters together.
Yeah.
I really do see this as being Tom Hiddleston's way out of the MCU without being out of the MCU, because I think Thor's done after Guardians 3. Mm-hmm. Even though they haven't really said he's going to be in there all the way, he's going to be in there. So I think after that, it's going to be done with Chris Hemsworth Thor, all that's going to be done. You're going to have Valkyrie take over for Thor's responsibilities. The one thing I want, besides Infinity War, is I want Doctor Doom and the whole where he becomes Black Panther. He takes over Wakanda. He starts making all the stuff from Vibranium, start becoming a badass. Like, I want that storyline, something fierce.
Well, they said that, like, Black Panther, the guy, is not going to be in the movie, but they still have a movie that they're going to make.
Yeah.
So, and it's way out in the future. So it could be, what if they had, like, Fantastic Four and everything come in, and then they're just kind of like, look at me, there's a place I can take over, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, like, I really want that. Like, I think it would be a great lead to a lot of stuff. Like, that gets you... Victor Von Doom, being as smart as he is, gets you over a lot of the humps of, like, well, the world doesn't have this stuff yet to do these things. It's your new Tony Stark, but with a more evil purpose.
Yeah, and Wakanda having all of that technology and stuff would be a perfect place for him.
Yeah.
See, so yours actually, though, like, lines up pretty well. Mine, they had Kid Loki. He was a dick. And then they were just kind of like, all right, now we're out of that little place, and freaking OG Loki died.
He's not dead.
No.
Once again, you didn't see him die on screen.
You didn't see him die on screen, so he's not dead. But, like, when I saw that, I lost
I really hope
shit.
I hope they didn't kill him. They really leaned into him that he's just that piece of junk that's just floating off in the distance. Like, I really hope I'm like, that'd be so good.
He's just floating out there in space.
He's like, see you fuckers.
I'm going to become the best Loki. No, I love Loki, and I love, like, the comic book version of him, because, like, that whole where he's a kid, it's really crazy convoluted and everything, but it's like he's the kid, he's trying to prove himself, but his old self, like the really evil version of himself, is behind it all, saying, like, you think you're in charge, but I've actually put these things in place for you to get to a place where I can finally take your body over and just have a younger version of me. And, like, it's a really cool storyline. I would love to have that, but I'm never going to get that, because they're never going to do that badass of a Loki.
I could see it being a Disney Plus show, but it won't be good.
No. Like, the whole time they've done Loki has been, I love Tom Hiddleston. I love the way he's done this variant of Loki, but they've never done an actual Loki from the comics version. Like,
So you're saying the best thing he's ever done as Loki was the Comic-Con experience, or where he showed up
like
as
he
Loki.
told everybody to kneel?
Yeah.
Yes.
And called them all vaginas.
Oh, I was there, but I
Thanks,
wasn't
Aaron.
there. Like, I had to go to the freaking blood drive, and Michael Fassbender was there somewhere for his Magneto. Didn't see him. He was somewhere over on that side of the street. Never got to see him. But then I see on my freaking phone where Tom Hiddleston in Loki costume for the Avengers movie is in Hall H right across the street telling people to kneel, and I am wanting to be there. I want him to tell me to kneel. But no. I didn't get to see that. I saw him on the big screen of the little, like, stage that they had built for Thor, and that was the only thing I could see of him, and I was very sad. I wanted to jump over the line and just hug him. But no, I didn't get to, because I had to go through the Hannibal line and watch the Hannibal show that I did not care for.
Well, then what about you? If you want, what's your next story that you want?
Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom being...
That's a legit story from the comics. Like, he literally becomes, like, super powerful from just all the vibranium. And, like, the other thing I would want is Dr. Doom to have the Infinity Gauntlet. That's not going to happen, so...
And you don't know. You got your Infinity War. Like, we both were like, oh man, what would we want to see? It's like, I really want to see Civil War. And then they were like, we're going to do Civil War. I was like, yeah. And then they were like, we're going to also do the Infinity War. And you were like, yeah. And then yours became the overlapping one that was just the big one. And mine was just this shitty movie where it's like, I don't like you. Well, I don't like you. Let's do this together. Bam, and we're done. Could have been so much better. It was so much better in the comics. And they had, like, the way to do it now would have been perfect after the whole like Infinity Gauntlet thing being like, we need to become more of a unified group where we have to actually like have people's names down. You can't wear masks and all that stuff. It's like, no, that's the whole point of being
even
a
like
superhero.
with the whole last fight with Thanos in Endgame where he came and like fucked Earth up.
Yeah.
Would have been great.
Yeah. It would have been amazing. And
not this, a town falling from the sky and killing some people. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. It's like they could have done so much with Civil War, and that actually like brought up a good line of the comics for a while there. And then like Secret Invasion happened and all that stuff, and it's like it could have been so much better than what it was, and it's never going to be. And I'm sad because they've already done it.
What's yours?
It doesn't really exist, but
Archie?
Seeing all. No. seeing Noel, I mean, the King of Black is about the only thing he really was fully center the antagonist of. But King of Black wasn't big either, so...
I mean, they're doing celestial stuff, so it
I
could
know.
very well.
I just think that...
I would like to have better Carnage.
I haven't watched really any of the video. I've seen some of the first one, but that one.
The second one of him and like Eddie and Venom, I liked better than the first one. But the Carnage was just kind of let down.
Spider-Man was my first Marvel movie I ever watched. The first one.
He was my first. He popped it.
But I liked the symbiote and the idea of it and everything. And
That's a red one.
Also, how the shit was Spider-Man not in Hawkeye's last episode? They were in New York at Christmas time,
Snow
fighting Kingpin, and at the end of fucking No Way Home, he's sliding through New York, through Roosevelt, like the ice rink and everything, and just woo, and no Hawkeye. Bullshit. Should have showed up somewhere in there.
Should have been like this teeny tiny, like when he's looking up at like one of the things on the side of the building. It's like just see him hanging out there looking at the building.
It'd been great. Like, hey, Clint. And he's like, who are you? Because he didn't remember him no more. It'd been great.
It's like, what's up, Hawkeye? It's like, what the fuck? All right.
It was just a letdown. That's all.
No,
No,
they're
that's
just
it for me. Like maybe something to do with Null. Maybe him have a bigger story because he is a super big bad guy and technically immortal and just like he could do something with him, but he just doesn't have a whole lot in the actual comic book universe.
Can we have a Avengers assemble, but like MCU, like Marvel assembles scene, and let it bring back all iterations of all Marvel at some point or another? So you have Dolph Lundgren Punisher, you have Tom Jane Punisher, you have Josh Brother, like whatever, the new Punisher, all at the same time. You have old crappy Captain America come in. You have Thor from Adventures of Babysitting Land come in. Like, you just bring all these different like characters from all across everything Marvel ever. It's just like, okay.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm here, I guess.
Like, it'd be so awesome. You have, the Bollywood Spider-Man come into play. Like, you just bring everything in.
It's like most of them.
The Disney XD Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like you just see all these different iterations. It's like, what happened to most of you? It's like, yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Especially like the Iron Man, where it looks like it's basically painted on him from the shows back in the day. It's like
Lou Ferrigno just comes in. Hey guys, what's going on?
Whatever, I forgot the old Hulk.
yeah, Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, I guess we'll call it for that one. So big things for the universe coming out for Marvel. Secret Invasion. Big thing, House of M, fingies crossed. Definitely some Celestial stuff coming. Let's see if in a few months here, once we get like Doctor Strange coming out, and then you got Moon Knight and all that stuff, we'll see how accurate we were with all of our vast knowledge of comics.
Do you want to do a review episode of those as they come
hell
out?
yes. Like, we'll go see Doctor Strange, and then like that next week, and be like, all right, right or wrong, we were right, bitches. Totally right.
I'm hoping so. There's things I just want.
There's a lot of things that I want, but again, I'm never going to get them because Loki's a little bitch. It's what it is, what it is.
If they had a cast one as Loki, besides Tom Hiddleston, who? You can't say David Tennant.
No.
He wouldn't fit really.
He would. He's an amazing actor. He would do good.
He could do it if he
But he's
wanted
already
to.
been in
yes.
the MCU with Jessica Jones.
Yeah, but that doesn't count no more. Right now, it's just Daredevil that counts.
At the moment, but
Just Daredevil right now.
I don't know who I
well,
would
it
want.
would technically be Jessica Jones and Luke Cage because he came in contact with them. So it's assumed that they would.
Unless they died.
There's the kid from Dune,
Unless they did.
little black-haired kid from Dune. I think he looks like he would do a good part. When
He'd be a
he's
good, like a
older.
younger Loki.
Yeah, he's too young right now, but I feel like he looks the part. And I haven't seen Dune, so I don't know how good of an actor he is. I'm assuming he's
Dune was
pretty
good.
Yeah. So I feel like he could play a good version. Like past ones, I just keep seeing Matt Damon in my brain. And that's not accurate whatsoever, but like that's what
But
comes
would you
in.
like to see I would like to see a movie where Matt Damon's just Loki. Like,
Oh my god, if they do the Avengers Assemble thing with all the variations,
Yeah.
he's got to be in one of them.
yeah, exactly. But like,
What am I doing here, guys?
What if they just recut the Thor movies and just put Matt Damon in as Loki and then just like super like impose him onto the so like it's just like really crappily done over top of him?
Put that Put that on the MCU Reddit and let the internet have fun.
It'd be awesome.
All right, so what I'm going to do when I get home, I have Photoshop. I'm going to like try and put some of that in there and just make it look as crappy as possible. Be like,
Matt Damon.
all of the Marvel movie, like Thor movies with him in it, it's like just with him posed in there instead. Oh my God, yes, that's happening. We'll come back to this in a couple of weeks. We'll see what we're going to talk about then. Might be the Batman movie since that's fresh, and it'll give people enough time to go and see it so they can.
It is solid. It's a good movie. It's 3 hours. Be prepared. There's no cuts. There's not really a post-credit scene, but there's a post-credit scene. That's all I'm going to say.
Mid-credit
Necessary.
scenes.
So they have a scene before the credits that is their post-credit scene, but the Riddler uses like a website in the show, and like the website kind of flashes in the credits, and you go to it and kind of play a little bit of the game.
Okay, cool. So we'll go over that one on the next one, and then by that point, man, it'd be April. It's getting pretty darn close to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we should have a Disney Plus show out. Moon Knight would be out
Yeah,
then.
Moon Knight will be out March 30th or 31st.
So we can do Moon Knight, then Doctor Strange right after Moon Knight.
Well, I'm assuming they'll release episodes of Moon Knight, so it'll probably be releasing the last one right before.
Fucking
Doctor Strange.
Disney with your stupid one a week thing. This is 2022.
No, you know what? I like it.
No.
I never realized how spoiled I was until I started watching like WandaVision. I was like, I don't know if I like this show. And then the second episode, I still don't know. Then the third episode, I was like, okay, it's getting better. And then the next week, I was like, oh my God, I love this show.
Bill's tense.
Instead of be like, all right, I'm going to watch this whole show. I really liked it, but I watched 8 hours of it. Now I'm done. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next year.
I mean, I guess that's true, but like for me, now I just usually wait till it's all done so I can watch it and like binge, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that with
I bet
this.
it's going to all. It might be 8 episodes roughly, but it would probably. When is Doctor Strange?
May.
It would be roughly about.
The way they've been doing it's usually like the second to last episode, or the last episode's like the second to last episode's like the release week of the next movie, and then the last episode's like right after it, and it involves something from that movie.
So it would be about 7 or 8 episodes, and it would come out like the last one will be right there when Doctor Strange comes out. So
Yeah. They did that with The Mandalorian and Star Wars too. They had a show that force healing was a thing. So they had Grogu force healed something, and then in the next week when the Star Wars movie came out, she force healed something. And I was like, dumb.
Retcon.
you got to know how it works before it works. All right, so we'll see how the Moon Knight is March 30th or 31st, first episode, and we'll go from there. And hopefully, next time we come in here, be like, I fucking told you. That's how it was. That's how it is.
And Hogan's like, well, anyway, so we're going to talk about Pokemon today.
So we were completely wrong on the Marvel thing. So onward to the next nerdy thing. We're going to nerd out today about this.
Null is real.
Yeah, if you're right, whatever. All right. Just say, like, told y'all.
I don't
don't.
it'd be cool if it is, but it's not going to be.
Yeah.
I really don't.
There's some pieces and hints of like his existence with the sword and all that, the symbiotes in general, but there's no reason for him to be here yet, and he doesn't interact with Doctor Strange, so there's no reason to bring him in.
Well, tune in next Tuesday, or not this next Tuesday. This is every other Tuesday that Nerding Out comes out. So join us on the next Tuesday.
Yeah, you're gonna say it's next Tuesday, just
Tuesday
Tuesdays.
squared.
Tuesday Square. Yes.
2 Tuesdays.
Watch Tuesday Squared. When we'll come out with our next episode, episode 3. Maybe about Moon Knight, we'll see. Maybe about Batman. Thanks, y'all.
Ooh. Moon Dark Knight.
Moon Knight.
The Dark Moon Knight.
Begins.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.